Okay, we're still on Learning Workbook page 145. We have one more example to do. Graph the parabola. Y equals negative parenthesis x subtract 2 close parenthesis squared plus 6. We're going to use the same method we did in the previous two problems. We're going to begin by writing our vertex form. And then we're going to compare. Now, one of the things that you might notice about this problem that's different than the other two is there's a negative here, but there's no actual number. Well, a negative does represent a number. It's the actual number -1. So I'm going to write that little 1 in here. It's a hidden number, but we know it's there. And this will help us to identify the values of a, h, and k. All right, so a is -1. K is -6. And negative h equals -2. Therefore, positive h equals positive 2. This is our vertex, hk, and we'll put it in the center row of an xy table, 5 rows. We're at 2, -6. Okay, what are the other x values that we should use? We just go up and down one step from the vertex. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 again is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1, minus 1 again is 0. We have to plug in these values into our equation. Okay, since this is our third example of the same type of problem, I'm going to take a couple of shortcuts here. We're going to plug in 0. So negative parentheses 0 minus 2 close parentheses squared minus 6. Simplify. Negative -2 squared minus 6. Following order of operations, we have to figure out what this is first, then apply the result of the negative. Be careful. Exponents go before multiplication. So this is negative, and -2 squared is 4. So -1 times +4 minus 6. That's -4 minus 6, -10. All right, I'm just going to mentally check my work. X is 0. 0 minus 2, -2. Squared, +4, make it negative, -4, minus 6, -10. By symmetry, that's going to give me the same result here. Okay, so now we're going to try x equals 1. If x equals 1, then y equals negative parentheses 1 minus 2 close parentheses squared minus 6. This negative is a -1. -1 times 1 minus 6, -1 minus 6, -7. So I get -7. Okay, let's just check our math mentally. If x is 1, 1 minus 2, -1. Square it, +1. Make it negative, -1. Subtract 6, -7. And by symmetry, that gives me the value here. Now I'd like to give you one word of caution. Taking this value and putting the same one here is tempting, and it's a good time saver. However, if you make a mistake on this point, and then you copy it to this point, now you've made 2 mistakes. So be very, very careful when you're using this symmetry idea. Personally, my advice to students is, and always has been, do these separately. You should get the same answer both times. If you do not, that helps you identify that you've made a mistake. All right, so now that we have our table of points, we'll graph the parabola. Okay, all of our x's are non-negative. All of our y's are negative. So that means we're looking at, let's see here, I have to think about it. Quadrant 1 or 4, quadrant 4. All right, the x's, I'm going to start by making a dashed square here. So 1 and -1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Our y's go all the way down to negative 10. Our x's, we only need to go to 4. All right, and then we can plot our points. So 0, negative 10 is the y-intercept. 1, negative 7. 2, negative 6. 3, negative 7. 4, negative 10. Notice this parabola opens down, which is consistent with what we learned previously. When the value of a is negative, your parabola opens down. Our vertex is this point right here at coordinates 2, negative 6. Our axis of symmetry is the vertical line through the vertex, which is x equals 2. And that is the end of our third example.